Lisa lies in bed, her eyes wide open, staring into the darkness above. She hasn't slept for days, feeling trapped in a relentless cycle of sleepless nights. Every tick of the clock echoes like a hammer in her skull. She longs for rest, but sleep never comes, leaving her mind fraying at the edges. The lack of sleep bleeds into Lisa's waking hours. She stumbles through her days in a fog, barely able to focus on her work. Her friends notice her hollowed eyes and sluggish movements, but Lisa just brushes off their concern. She feels like she's floating, disconnected from reality. One night, Lisa wakes up standing in her kitchen, barefoot and confused. The cold floor jolts her, but she can't remember getting out of bed. Her mind is foggy, her hands trembling. This is the first time she realizes something strange is happening. Lisa tries to shake off the bizarre experience, but the next morning, the sense of unease lingers. She stares into her reflection in the kitchen window and feels like she's looking at a stranger. Her mind tells her it was just a dream, but her body remembers walking through the house in the middle of the night. The nightly wanderings become more frequent. Lisa wakes up in different parts of the house, sometimes with no memory of how she got there. She's no longer sure if she's awake or dreaming, as her sleeper self begins to act on its own. Desperate to understand what's happening, Lisa starts researching sleep disorders, hoping to find an explanation. But the more she digs, the darker the answers become. She finds stories of others who lost control of their lives, their minds slipping away during their sleepwalking episodes. Lisa's sleepwalking episodes grow worse, and now, she starts losing time during the day as well. Hours vanish without her realizing it. She finds herself in places she doesn't remember going, with no idea how she got there. The sleeper is no longer just a nocturnal threat, it's taking over her waking hours too. When Lisa finally manages to sleep, her dreams are filled with vivid, horrific images. She sees herself in strange places, doing terrible things. Every time she wakes up, the fear of losing control deepens, as she starts to wonder if these dreams are more than just figments of her imagination. One night, Lisa wakes up in the middle of the woods, barefoot and shivering. Her nightgown is torn, and her feet are muddy. The trees around her are eerily silent, and she feels utterly alone. She realizes that the sleeper has taken her farther than ever before. After her night in the woods, Lisa becomes terrified of sleeping. But the sleeper is stronger now. It starts controlling her actions during the day, forcing her to do things she doesn't remember. She wakes up with objects in her hand, unaware of how they got there, and bruises on her skin from unknown sources. Desperate to stop the sleeper from controlling her, Lisa tries to stay awake for days on end. She uses coffee, energy drinks, and cold showers to keep herself conscious, but the exhaustion soon overwhelms her. The more she fights it, the stronger the sleeper becomes.
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep.
Despite her efforts, Lisa eventually succumbs to exhaustion and falls into a deep sleep. This time, the sleeper completely takes over. She dreams of walking through her house, her movements no longer her own, but something darker, more sinister, is pulling the strings. In her dream, Lisa finally confronts the sleeper. It's a twisted version of herself, with hollow eyes and a cruel smile. She feels powerless against it, watching as the sleeper takes control of her life, her body, and her mind, with no hope of escape. Lisa watches helplessly as the sleeper takes full control. It moves her body, speaks with her voice, and lives her life while Lisa is trapped inside her own mind, powerless. The once bright and hopeful woman is now just a puppet, controlled by the entity she can't defeat. In the end, Lisa ceases to exist. She is completely absorbed by the sleeper, who now lives her life in her place. Her friends and family notice a change, but they never truly understand what has happened. The sleeper walks among them, wearing Lisa's face, but Lisa is long gone, lost to the darkness that consumed her. The laughter, the memories, and the warmth of her spirit fade away, replaced by the chilling presence of the sleeper. As it moves through the world, it mimics her smile, but its eyes reflect nothing but emptiness. Lisa's existence is erased, leaving behind only a hollow shell that looks like her, but is anything but. The story of Lisa ends here, but the legacy of the sleeper continues, wandering through the lives of those who once knew her, a reminder of the thin line between consciousness and the unknown darkness that can take control when one loses the fight against their own mind.